So we are currently at what will become our headquarters for the festival. We're mixing up our venues this year, so we'll be having our screenings between the Malco and Central Theater, and then what the business that was formerly the craft beer cellar, and I think it was also the Old Crow Chili place. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. This now will be our headquarters. So in this space, we'll have our box office, our merch sales, VIP lounge, and just a community space for people to gather, to have conversations, have a cup of coffee, go over their program, plan their day, and just take a break between screenings. Especially for our 30th year, we wanted to return to a theater. We love the Arlington. We're still going to be very close partners with them. All of our guests will be staying there. We'll be having some really incredible events there. So we're not excluding the Arlington from our plans. We're just branching out a little farther down Central to embrace more of our full history as an organization. As a filmmaker, I think it just feels right to be watching your film in a theater, and because it is where the festival began 30 years ago, it just feels right to pay, to return to our home base. We've been anticipating our 30th anniversary for years now, and I can't believe it's only weeks away. And so we're locking our films, we're locking venues, we're locking parties. All that stuff has really started to come together this week, and I've never been more excited than I am right now for what's in store for October. Unless something absolutely catastrophic changes, we are still moving forward with in-person plans. We obviously, the health and safety of our attendees and our guests is at the center of all of our planning, and we are going to have quite a few protocols this year. We'll be requiring proof of vaccination for every guest or a negative test that's been taken within the last 48 hours, and those will have to be a lab test. It's not one of those at-home ones, so you have to prove that you took it with a lab and that you were negative, and masks will be required at our events. So we want to make sure it's a safe environment, that people can feel comfortable coming into theaters and watching movies together. So we'll take all the measures that we can to ensure that. We will be watching capacity very carefully. There'll be a handful of changes this year. One of the biggest, there's quite a few, but one of the biggest is that pass holders used to be able to just walk into a theater, and this year we're going to ask them to reserve their tickets ahead of time so that we can manage capacity and be mindful of attendance. So they can still get free access with their pass to everything, but we want them to reserve it. We want to keep the similar structure of our program that we used to have at the Arlington with 2 screens running simultaneously. We'll have roughly 35 features and about the same number of shorts. I'm so excited about our program this year. It's been really fun to see it come together, and some of my favorite directors of all time will be showing their films with us this year. We have the director lineup alone this year is kind of insane in terms of pedigree, Oscar nominations, just high level in the industry. So it's certainly a very special year when it comes to the films, the guests, and all the other things that we have planned. I'm very grateful that our audience was willing to pivot with us last year when we were mostly virtual. But I really feel that on our own team that we are just craving to be back into that in-person experience. And I feel it from our audience members and our filmmakers as well. So many of the filmmakers are just really excited to be able to come see their movie in a theater. It's been for some a year and a half, 2 years since I've had that chance. And to really see your film with an audience is why you make your movie. So we're grateful that we get to get back to some of the format that we're used to. Almost every single film in our lineup will be available on our virtual platform. So the way that will work is every film will have an in-person screening, and then the day after it'll be available for 48 hours on the virtual platform. So it's a chance for someone to maybe watch something that they didn't get to catch that day before, and it also makes it available for anyone that doesn't feel safe attending the festival in person. And we'll also host a whole lot of virtual talks and panels and things that will be hosted on that platform as well, which I found has actually been great about. It's sort of a silver lining of what we learned from last year. A lot of our talks and panels actually reached a much bigger audience that way. Not all of the film students can come to the festival at the time that we host those panels, but I found that the people interested in a lot of those talks were able to access it more more readily when it was online. Yeah, so it'll be similar to last year or similar to the in-person. You would get a ticket to either watch it online or in person. And then if you have a pass, that'll be included in your pass depending on which pass you have. But the all access allows you access to every single movie in person in theaters. The Film Buff does the same, but the all access gives you access to every party, every special event. And then we'll have some virtual passes, weekend passes, and then obviously you can buy just a ticket to any single movie that you want to attend. Definitely are. We'll host at least 3 events, and they'll be similar to last year. We'll have a bike parade, which will be sponsored in part by Mountain Valley, our presenting sponsor this year, and we'll be venturing to every water source in the town, and it's our back to the source bike ride. We'll have an inspiration hike, as we did last year, which was really, really popular, and yoga on the lawn. Well, I would say we just concluded our discount pass sale yesterday. Passes are still available on our website at full price, and around September 15th, we'll be announcing our full lineup, special guests, opening and closing, all the things that I know our audiences are eager to hear. So we've put unbelievable work into this. I mean, every year the festival is a tremendous amount of work, but this is something that I've had my eyes on for so many years now, just knowing that I wanted to make this year special, knowing that we're the longest running all documentary film festival in North America with our 30th year coming out of a pandemic. We have a lot to celebrate. So I'm really excited. We're trying a lot of new things, which for me, can kind of be, you're stepping out of our comfort zone, but I think through that we're finding a lot of new ways to make the festival even better.